Meeting call to order at 7 p.m. Our first order of business will be roll call. President,
Present.
Vice President, President. Director of Administrative Affairs, Director of Financial Affairs,
Here.
Director of Government and Legal Affairs,
Present.
Director of Student Relations,
Present.
Director of Foreign Outreach, Director of Technology and Web Development,
Present.
Vice Chair of Senate,
Here.
Senator Wong,
Present.
Senator Weismiller,
Present.
Senator Erickson,
Present.
Senator Stangovar,
Present.
Senator Carter,
Present.
Senator King.
Present.
I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second? Senator Carter.
I second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The agenda is approved as presented. I entertain a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes. Senator Carter.
Move to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Is there a second? Senator King. All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The previous meeting minutes are approved as presented. I will now yield the floor to President Firewatch for the appointment of a university delegate.
Persons holding office under the Constitution of Student Government or any office established through bylaws or other legislative enactments shall take the oath of office. The oath of office shall read as follows. I state your name, do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of, state your position, and will, to the best of my ability, enforce and observe the Constitution and Unified Student Code of the Student Government of the University of Michigan-Flint. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Mario,
Do solemnly affirm
solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of state your position
of student senate
and will,
and will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
enforce and observe
enforce and observe
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the Unified Student Code
and the rights
of the Student Government
of the student senate
of the University of Michigan-Flint.
of the University of Michigan.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Senator Henderson. Our next order of business will be the guest speakers. I now yield the floor to Lucine Jara and Tyrese Denson.
Oh my God. I needed a bed. Can everybody see that? I don't know how to make this. You know what? All right, hi everybody. So my name is Lucine. I'm a student here. I actually used to be on student government. I was vice president. I'm studying political science. This is my last semester, graduating soon.
My name is Tyrese. I graduated in April. I'm also a member of student government.
Yes. Hello. Okay, I'm very tired. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and make it through this. So, is everybody familiar with the One University campaign? Okay, so I don't need to go through that. You guys know they're looking to pressure the University of Michigan to allocate funding and resources to the Flint and Dearborn campuses. So in June, we attended the Board of Regents meeting and we realized that the Regents had did not vote to help the Flint Dearborn campuses. So after that meeting, Teresa and I met up and we were like, okay, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusivity initiatives are really, really important to Flint, considering we actually don't, we receive zero. So Ann Arbor receives 85 million in DEI funding and the Flint Dearborn campuses don't get any. So in that effort to address that issue, we decided to go back and look at what are the problems impacting the University of Michigan. So we identified three major problems. The first one was currently there isn't any type of multicultural outreach that's done through admissions. The second thing was the programming that currently exists in Flint is insufficient, it's underfunded, it's understaffed, and it doesn't properly support the students that go here. And number three, the university does not actively seek out first-generation data. So it is not included in the strategic plan for enrollment recruitment. We don't have a center where we collect that data. The current data that we have is through the FAFSA, which is inconsistent because I think they identified the number to be 13%, which does not accurately portray first-gen students at Flint. Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as the first gen data, some other universities are doing different things to try to get this data to where they can at least cross-reference it. So one thing that the University of Michigan-Dearborn does is that they include a question on their application. Does either one of your parents have a bachelor's degree or higher? And that's something that we don't do on our individual application. We do use the Common App, which does ask a similar question. And both of the applications that you from Ann Arbor also ask a question like first gen, whether or not you're a first gen student.
Yeah, and so let me preface this real quick with issues that are impacting Flint in general. I mean, if you look at Flint Community Schools, graduation rates are going down. People are dropping out of high school their senior year. At the University of Michigan-Flint, enrollment is going down. Retention is really poor. So it's a culmination of these things that we're looking at to kind of address what are we going to do to improve our outreach into the community. How are we going to help intentionally recruit students here and then not only recruit them here, but also provide them with the support they need to succeed here. And that's a major, major part of this. And I just explained this. Okay, so what we learned. So in our research, we looked at a variety of different schools. One of the best schools that we looked at was the University of Northern Colorado, which is doing phenomenal work to support underrepresented students on their campus. One program that we looked at is the MORA program, which stands for Multicultural Outreach and Recruitment Ambassador Program. It's very long. So what that program does is it takes students at their university who volunteer and go out into their community schools and they recruit students. And they don't just recruit them, they also provide them with workshops at their school, like their senior year. Their workshops consist of different financial literacy workshops, FAFSA workshops. They help with the academic transition into college, the social integration into college, a variety of different things. Okay, and then the University of Washington also does very similar work.
So as far as first gen, like directly related things that are going on, our Ann Arbor campus actually has a gateway center. So this is a place on campus where first gen students can come. It's one place where these students can come and get access to resources they might not even know about that center did exist. And also it's another way for those first gen students to report themselves as first gen students, so the university can continue getting accurate data on how many first gen students they have. That's just another way for us to kind of cross-reference that data. Right now, we're pulling it from the FAFSA, and we really don't have any way to look and say that number is wrong. We just believe it's wrong because the number of 13%, which is lower than what Ann Arbor reports at 14%, is lower than what Harvard reports at 15%. Dearborn reports about 24%, and we think that we're a little bit closer to that, probably about 27-30%. We also looked at the University of Northern Colorado for their Center for Human Enrichment. So one thing they do is they have a cohort system for first-gen students where they select about 90 students. And then they give them mentors. They have some of the different workshops that Lucy was talking about. And their numbers from that have been really successful. So for fall 2017, fall 2018, they had 95% of the participants in that program persisted to that next year, which is really a really high number. And then also the 2012 cohort for those incoming first-gen students, they had 65% of those students graduate within 6 years. And for first-gen students, usually graduate at a lower rate. The national average is about 35%, I believe, for 6 years. And our six-year graduation rate for our entire campus is at 46%. So their first gen number for that cohort is higher than what our entire campus-wide six-year graduation rate is. So that program is doing a really good job.
So after reviewing all of this, we were like, so what can the University of Michigan-Flint do? And so we established like 5 steps that we think that the university needs to take. Number 1 is we need to establish a first-gen definition, which we don't have, simply because we don't collect that data through the application process, we get it through the FAFSA. So we think that establishing a consistent first-gen definition is important. Number 2 is conducting a institutional assessment of the first-gen students that currently go here, which comes with making sure that the data that we have is consistent. Number 3 is pushing for institutional change and not just adding programming to campus, because we think that we need to also change the approach for how we conduct these assessments and how we seek out this data. And then working with community advocates in the community to collect this data as well as another avenue. And then ultimately just building the necessary support systems to support these students once they get here. Because again, this is not just about bringing students to campus, it's about making sure that they stay here, it's about making sure that we make space for their success here, and it's about them graduating.
So even thinking beyond just first-gen students, first-gen students are included so heavily in our proposal because we think that that's an underrepresented community that's just not being addressed by our university right now. So looking at what we can do on campus is establishing a multicultural outreach, recruitment, and ambassador program. So this is something that the University of Northern Colorado and other schools across the country do. What this would be is students from our campus going out into high schools, talking with students, encouraging them, inspiring them to come to college, and also helping work into workshops that can benefit them in their academic careers. One thing that we noticed when we were looking at the different numbers for the schools, for our school, is that we're located downtown Flint. Flint Community Schools are the 4th largest school in the county, and over 50% of our students come from Genesee County. But Flint Community Schools is not in our top 10 feeder schools into the university, which we think is problematic. And if you look at the feeder schools, most of them are coming from suburban schools and more rural areas. So we want to see how can we be transformative in these students' lives and really kind of help close that wage gap and that kind of opportunity gap that's going on right now. Part of our proposal, once we send it out, includes a lot of information that comes from the Focus on Flint publication that got put out from the Mott Foundation. So if you look at those numbers in the city of Flint, the median household income is less than $2,000 more than the National Poverty Guideline, which is really alarming. We think our university is in a position to try to change that. So with that, the goal is to increase the enrollment of underrepresented students. But then, like Christine said, it's not just about getting these students here. It's about providing the support once they get here, providing the programming to help them get to graduation and be successful in their careers. And then we also want to focus on the transition to college. So we don't do a whole lot of programming for first-gen students once they're here. We have some programs for high school students and middle school students, and then there's the summer bridge program, like the Promise Scholars. So the Promise Scholars are students who actually fall just below the admission guidelines, and then they have to go through almost like a summer type boot camp that's supposed to prepare them for college. There's a lot of issues with that, and some of it is just some of the struggles that EOI has kind of gone through. I was a tutor for the English students in that program, and one thing that I noticed from EO staff at EOI and from the students is that at the end of that program they didn't feel that they were prepared for college. So we need to get the feedback from those students and see what we can do differently and what resources we can provide them with. So once they're done with those types of programs, they feel that they're able to be successful here. Because it doesn't make sense for them to be admitted and go through that program and still not be successful once they get here. That's not what we want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that part of that is that, diversity is a cosmetic solution. I mean, it's not about recruiting diverse students and bringing them here. It's about making sure that they succeed once they get here. And that comes with ensuring that, the programming that we have is equitable, that it's inclusive at its core, and that it properly speaks to the experiences that these first-gen students and these underrepresented students are facing. So that's really what's important here. You do agree? So the fourth one was an intentional investment in the ways we seek feedback and information from Flint-based community organizations and from organized cultural groups on campus. This goes with ensuring that this is a community-wide effort and that it's not just the University of Michigan-Flint. And then working collaboratively with departments and university groups to create inclusive and equitable programming. one thing that me and Tyrese experienced in our efforts to, share this program with everybody was that there's a lot of departmental silos that have been created within the institution. A lot of times we would go to enrollment and they would say that a lot of this is a student affairs problem. And then we would go to student affairs and they would say a lot of this is an enrollment problem. And we really want to push that this is everybody's problem. Everybody needs to be equally invested in this effort. And we think that that's really, really important.
So what can we do to work together, or what do we, how do we think you can help us in this, on this kind of mission right now? It's one, constructing a vision together. So the strategic plan so far has been put together by Lucina and I, but we only have 2 experiences on campus. So we want everyone who sees this proposal to give us feedback on it, let us know what they think, let us know what they think we can do differently, right? So some of these programs we have suggested, maybe you don't think they're feasible, or maybe you think there's a different direction that would benefit our campus. So we want no suggestions. Access to resources for the Spanish project. That's just connecting with the different members of our community. So on campus and off campus, we're also working with community organizations to see how they can help improve what we're doing as far as DEI initiatives as well. Identifying the talents and skills. So all of us have different things that we're good at. All of us have different ideas. We really just want to work together on this. Strategic organizing. Looking at our current strategic enrollment plan, one thing that I think it does very well is it points out a lot of the issues that schools in Michigan, and specifically Michigan-Flint, the issues that we're going to face moving forward as far as enrollment goes. One place I think it falls short a little bit is offering solutions to those issues. So that's what part of this proposal is about, is how can we overcome that? We shouldn't just be saying enrollment in high schools is going to drop, there's going to be more dropouts, there's less kids living in Michigan. Say, how can we encourage these students to come to Michigan-Flint and really, like I said, just transform the lives of Flint students? And then communal power, this goes with what Lucine was saying about the silos that kind of exist right now. We don't think that this is just a admissions problem. It's not just a division of student affairs problem. This is something that the university as a whole should work together on, because it's all of our issue. One thing I think that Ann Arbor does do well within DEI initiatives is all of their schools are required to have a DEI strategic plan. So that's something that might be useful here, is to see how the individual schools and colleges could implement DEI initiatives to kind of improve the culture on campus.
Now I will open the floor to comments. I think that's your job. Never mind. I should know better. Oh, I don't know. I mean, we're open to questions. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns from the audience or members of student government?
You mentioned a survey. Have you constructed and know when it will be done, or?
A survey?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the strategic plan itself?
First people have to get the right number of how many questions people are.
Yeah, so currently the university does not have a way of getting that data. That's what we're advocating for. We want the university to basically invest in the infrastructure to do so. Because currently we use the FAFSA to determine that number. And then I think the Common App as well is another way to get that number. Which also, both of those have 2 different definitions of first round. And so we think that the best way to approach this is to create a system within admissions, within the university itself, to identify who our first gen students are in order to properly support them. So that's, did I answer?
Are there any other questions?
Were you able to meet with the EOI office, and did they express any concerns or any problems with the programs that are already going on?
So as far as when we met with EOI, yes. They're supportive of what we're trying to do here. As far as the programming that they're currently doing, they do solicit feedback. They also want to look into ways to kind of improve those programs. Because like I said, a lot of the discussion that happened over the summer, especially like with the Army Scholars Program, some of those with EOI, and really just want to make sure that those programs are impactful for students. They're not just here as a way to get students in, but as a way that's actually helping students get to the college.
I think it's important to also just know that like we need to like reflect on this, and we need to reflect on the programming. We need to see, is this programming actually successful on our campus, in order to make improvements that are sustainable in the future.
You mentioned support for first-gen students. What would that look like? Have you seen other universities? Like, what would that look like here?
So, I mean, like Tyrese mentioned, the University of Northern Colorado has a human enrichment center for human enrichment, which does a variety of things in providing resources to first-gen students on campus. There's a mentorship program where they basically link the first-gen students with a mentor throughout their collegiate experience, that supports them and that gives them, they meet with, I think, regularly, like every year. And basically, it's just like a check-in with them to make sure that, they're getting the services that they need on campus, and then a variety of other resources.
Then another thing that a lot of schools do, and it's not necessarily like the biggest thing in the world, but it's just celebrating first-gen students. So there's a national day of celebration for first-gen students, which is November 8th. And a lot of institutions are doing like week-long things where first-gen students can kind of come and build their own community, learn about the impact that other first-gen students have gone and made in history. So we think that we should at least be doing something like that in the place where just acknowledging our students that are on campus and acknowledging those extra barriers that they kind of have to overcome in their education.
Yeah, and I think the first step for us at least is to recognize them, because we don't even do that right now. They're not in our strategic plan. If you look at the strategic plan for enrollment and recruitment, we don't identify first-gen students, so we aren't seeing them to help them. So I think that's just the first step, is making sure that we are defining them, we are making sure that they know that we see them and that we are working to help them and support them.
Is there any way you can give us your contact information for students that want to reach out to you guys?
Yes, yeah. You have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. It's good to see a lot of you again.
Thank you for that, Tyrese and Christine. Now we will be moving on to director reports. President Bartlett.
Okay. Quick update on the spin scooters program that we're trying to bring here on campus. There is definite progress that we're seeing. We will have some company representatives on campus on October 24th for an on-site demo. So we're looking into advertising this program and also advertising it to students, something fun and exciting. It's just to see how do students react, do they like it, and just kind of get a hold of how things will go. Overall on that, myself, Associate Dean of Students, Director of Public Safety, and Facilities and Operations will have their representatives at the meeting, and we will see if these agreements can be brought further. We're also looking to have a key person to play a direct role. That would be one of the agendas of the meeting. I've been looking into the conduct processes for different universities, and so far we have not gotten substantial information. I also reached out to DPS Ann Arbor, and for the on-site demos that would be around the afternoon on October 24th. They will be on campus, so please tell your friends about this. We do not expect the agreement to come to full term or the launch of this program any sooner this semester for now. With that, we do have the State of Student Address coming up on 29th of October. There will be details shared on our student government social media and also mass email sent out. Director of Student Relations will be working on that. We are reaching out to the executive cabinet. Unfortunately, the chancellor will not be able to attend. However, we will try to get most of our executive cabinet there from the university administration. All the student government representatives will be present for the event. And I had submitted my Board of Regents report on behalf of student government. Key mentions were that the platform, update on SPIN, our senators, their caucuses, and our progress on and our progress and vision on mental health, community leadership, and food insecurity. I will also be meeting with Dr. Schlatter, Associate Vice Chancellor and Dean of Students, to set up a meeting regarding future developments with the food pantry and how student government can support working, whether it's with working with the Alumni Development Office to extend that support to students on campus. And with that, I yield.
In terms of my report, I was able to work alongside Vice Chair Sturgeon to create a onboarding document for all of Senate. We finally completed it and we hope to present it tonight at our Senate meeting. We were also finally able to finalize the time for us to meet as a Senate that worked out for everyone. And I plan over everyone's caucus to approve and just look at how we can make things more exponential and bigger on this campus. And we're working on that. And I was also able to speak to the director of Batman Technology about uploading caucuses on the website in case students are interested to know what's happening on the inside of student government. And with that, I yield. Director of Administrative Affairs.
So I followed up with Vice President Maria for the caucuses of the Senate in order to keep record, and I will be asking for them at the starting of the caucuses and the end of the semester. I had a one-on-one meeting with President Bhattacharya, and we went over stuff to be done in the following 2 weeks. The meeting minutes for the last General Assembly was sent. I followed up with Mary about the main text with the student government, so we will be getting them soon. I sent an email to Kenny Lowry about Food Service Advisory Committee, and I'm waiting for her response on that. I also emailed Elizabeth Swoboda about lib guides, and so that we could upload our meeting minutes on them. And I'm waiting for her response. The meeting minutes today have been approved and will be sent out in 24 hours. And with that,
Thank you. Director of Financial Affairs.
So I had a meeting with the president yesterday. We set a few deadlines for the budget sheet and other things that I'm working on, such as a proposal to be to have student representation on the Chancellor's Advisory Committee for budgeting and strategic planning. We feel it's very important to have a student rep on that committee because we haven't in the past. And if not for any other reason, we just have a student voice here at that committee. Other than that, the funding board has an open meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. We will be voting on a few proposals and allocation requests that we've received. Along with that, the funding board still needs 2 members at large. We're adding 2 more members. So the application should be live. Please tell all your friends who are in the student community if they would like to be involved. It's a voluntary position. They can find more information on the website or reach out to any student government member and myself, and we'd be happy to help them. And the budget sheet should be done soon and made accessible in case anyone wants to see it with that evening.
Director of Government and Legal Affairs.
Hello, everyone. So the draft for the updated constitution is in its final stages, and I'm really excited with the progress that's been going on. After meeting with President Bardwaj and Dr. Snyder, I've come up with a rough schedule and kind of deadlines for that. The first draft will be completed in 2 weeks, and we've already started going over and updating some of the changes that were made. And then the Government and Legal Affairs Committee has been set up, and we have our first meeting planned, and I have the first meeting planned out, as well as some of the big projects that will be starting and going on that. And with that, thank you.
Director of Student Relations.
Hey, everybody. So for the Student Relations Committee, we have 6 confirmed representatives so far, with representation from the School of Management, Nursing, and College of Arts and Sciences. We still need representatives from the School of Education and Human Services, so I reached out to the department head, Dr. Moyo, and I'm waiting to hear back. But if you guys know anyone from that department, please let them know about this committee. It's extremely important to have diverse representation from each school. And I have worked with the representatives who have responded to need to establish a meeting time. You'll be meeting bi-weekly on Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. And I'm thinking our first meeting's going to be held on the 22nd, but it's tentative for now. For those of you who are not able to attend for the whole meeting, even if you can only be there for a half hour, your input is invaluable to us, or valuable to us. And we need you all there. It makes getting as much student voice as possible is what this committee's for. In terms of the state student address, like President Barbage mentioned, it'll be held on October 29th this month, it's going to be 4:30 p.m. I'll be meeting with Picasso to determine catering, and I'm working with the Senate to help promote the event. And with that, I'll yield.
Director for Outreach.
All right, hi everyone. All right, so an email was sent out to Jeremy Monroe, who is the political science department chair, about Senate openings, and I'm waiting on a response from him. I attended the event Celebration of Engagement that University Outreach and the Office of the Provost put on last week. It was a great event. It showcased a lot of projects that were supported by the university through grants. So it was really neat to see everyone out there. The Foreign Outreach Committee has been established, and I have 2 Senate members, Senator King and Vice Chair Sturgeon. I'm going to have more to add to my report following the meeting on Monday. And then today there was a meeting between Grand Valley and U of M Flint delegations regarding the statewide resolution for higher education funding. Myself, Senator King, and Joel Padgel from Grand Valley were on that call. We went over goals regarding writing the resolution, and we created an action plan moving forward. An email is going to be sent out to executive board representatives from each public university within the next 24 hours, seeking information to better assist us with writing that resolution. Both delegations are going to be collaboratively working via Google document and Google Drive to create that resolution so that it's going to be easy for all universities that are willing to adopt it. That group's going to meet a few more times via conference call before the November meeting at Saginaw Valley. And then that Saginaw Valley conference is actually a month from today. U of M Flint's delegation is going to be made up of myself, President Barbage, Director Crowley, Director Salim, Vice Chair Sturgeon, and Senator Wang as of now. There's no cost to attending this conference, so I really encourage other senators to let me know if you're interested in attending. And then I had a meeting with Mia McNeil on Monday, and we discussed the statewide lobbying day. And then once that statewide resolution regarding the lobbying day and higher education funding is completed, she's going to receive a copy to review. We went over NSELF data very briefly, and we both hope to see those numbers to continue to grow. Along with the NSELF data, we went over the All-In Campus Democracy Challenge. She's a big fan of it, is really going to help me push for it, which is exciting. Mia relayed some information regarding the budget that Governor Whitmer signed, and during fiscal year 2020 and 2021, U of M Flint will receive $307,000 more, which is lower than we had received in last year's. The House and the Senate are going to actually be looking at rewriting language pertaining to performance metrics that really affects our budget and the money that we receive from it. But she did express that the governor has been vocal about increasing higher education funding, and that she hopes that we're going to see an effect in the supplemental budget. She also did mention briefly that Senator Gary Peters is going to be on campus October 11th to just kind of tour. He's not really stopping in anywhere, but just so that you're aware, he'll be around. And then in the upcoming days, I will be working on a proposal to create a student seat on faculty council, and there's going to be more information that comes with that. And with that, I will.
Director of Technology and Web Development.
So what I've been working on was I contacted all student government members regarding the ASGA, it's the American Student Government Association. And I'm in the process right now of getting everybody accounts. We already paid for it and everything. What it does is it kind of connects student governments across the country. And we just wanted to make sure that everybody on student government had these tools and these resources. So I'm in the process of doing that. I talked to the vice president regarding senator caucuses. I want to make sure those are public to all students and faculty and staff. I want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on campus, and if somebody's ever interested in a caucus with a senator, they'll know how to contact them, they'll know what their caucus is about, and it'll just make it a lot more public and transparent what we're doing, how we're trying to improve our campus. And I also contacted the Director of Administrative Affairs about adding meeting minutes to the website. We're in the process of figuring out the best way to do that, and I plan on getting that done by the 18th, but I expect I'll get that done sooner. And I've also contacted the Director of Student Relations about promoting services and just things on campus in general students are unaware of, just things that are offered that many people may not be taking. So just underutilized things on campus. And I also plan on updating and having the committee page done by the 18th. I've emailed all the directors in student government about their committees. I want to get all the information together and just have a nice clear-cut way to show everybody on campus what committees there are and what everybody's trying to do and how we can improve our campus. And with that, I yield.
Vice Chair of Senate.
So this past week, I collaborated with Vice President Wadira on Senator Caucus templates and improvements and see how we can help our senators improve and implement their caucuses. We also finished the senator onboarding document, and we plan to present it tonight to the senators. This document will help any future senators with the transition to student government and puts expectations in a plain, simple way. I reached out to the directors about their committees to see if they needed any more senators, and then connected them with the senators that might be interested in their committees. I also worked with Vice President Wadira on improving communication and finding a set time for Senate meeting, which we did, and we were successful, so we are going to be meeting at the time that we allocated. I also attended the celebration of engagement by the Office of the Provost and the Office of University Outreach with Director Upmore. It was fantastic, and it was really nice seeing everything that the grants that the university are giving out and how that is affecting how people go about doing their projects and everything like that. Speaking of Director Upmore, I joined her foreign outreach meeting, and we were going to be working closely together. She updated me about the conference call and the information about the resolution that we are going to be starting soon. Also, Vice President Wadira and I also implemented something for Senate. So we have started Senator of the Week. So Senator of the Week is a senator who went above and beyond in their determination and work ethic in regards to their senator position. And last week's Senator of the Week was Senator Toure King. So congratulations. You've done a great job so far as you have been sworn in, and we would like to recommend you for that, so good job. And with that, I yield.
We will now be moving on to advisory reports.
Just a quick update, the open forum for the Board of Regents has been moved. It's now occurring at 10:30 in the morning on the 17th, and then it's still in the Flint Theater. You should have seen an email about that. That's already gone out. But if you'd like to attend, it's not moved to 10:30 in the morning.
We will now be moving on to Senator reports. Senator Wong.
Good evening, everyone. Things I have done since the last general meeting, been working on my projects. I attended the funding board meeting last week on October 3rd, which was a closed session. I also reached out to a few student organizations about collaborating for my caucus. Task that I'm doing is contacting the Student Success Center and having an office to discuss my caucus and how to do a collaboration. Continue working on my caucus and attend the next funding board meeting, which is tomorrow. And with that idea.
Senator Weissmuller.
Good evening, everybody. Since what I have done since last week, and I revised my questions for student government survey that student relations is working on. Last week, I also attended a meeting for the food pantry when representing student government. Some takeaways from that meeting. Overall, the goal of the food pantry now is they want it to be run by students. They don't want it to be just another administrative, run by administrators. They want the student involvement, preferably a student intern working at it. We covered the history of student pantry on campus. However, there wasn't a whole lot of turnout for the meeting, besides the social worker club and Dr. Schneider and myself. There will plan to be another food pantry meeting sometime this month, no date specifically. And also they have a charity event in December, early December, the social work club for the food pantry. That they will be looking for student volunteers for. And there's a canned food drive and a silent auction, as what this charity event is. Um, Moving on, I applied for the committee for student clubs and organizations, however, I believe that is been delayed at the moment. And yesterday, I represented student government at a open house for high school students at the riverfront. I talked to some potential students and some parents on what student government is and how they can get involved in it, given this question. And with that, I yield.
Senator Erickson.
Yes, hello, everyone. So I've finalized a general idea for my caucus, which pertains to creating a stronger sense of collaboration between organizations on campus, as well as creating a more informative way to reach out to the student body in order to influence their involvement. I've been working on detailing this and pinpointing specific core issues that relate to this matter. I also spoke with President Barbage the other day and gave me some great advice and some great direction on how to improve my caucus. I've also officially joined Director Gurley's committee for GLA, and we have set up our first meeting for next week. With that,
Senator Sandoval.
No report.
Senator Carter.
No report.
Senator King.
Good evening, everyone. Pertaining to my caucus from last week, I met with combination of student council advisors. They're really looking forward to collaborating with you on student government. We're going to plan future dates so I can meet and we can finish and filter out what needs to be done. I joined Director Upmore's School and Outreach Committee. It's great. I'm also joining Director of Student Relations Committee, Director Fox. Beautiful. Student government office updates I purchased water for us, need some water, we talk about it here, so drink some water. Bought some more pens, she's writing a lot of things down, so couldn't find a pen with her, so I said, let me use some pens. And I bought marker holder for markers, drivers, water, couldn't find them, so I said, get somewhere I can see it. I would like to thank the ones that voted for me to be Senator Week. I'm humble, I didn't think I did anything, but thank you for it. And Director Fox and for the picture was that I did.
Senator Henderson.
Hello, everyone. What I plan to do this week, probably to last meeting, was to attend a Senate meeting, read over the Constitution, and make minor adjustments to my caucus, and also complete my inauguration to the student council. Student government. What I've done so far was complete my inauguration into student government and read over and revised my own caucus. Starting tomorrow, I will be working with Office of Financial Aid to create some collaboration that ties into
We will now be moving on to university committee reports. Are there any university committee reports? Senate Director Upmore.
Just so everyone knows, the Faculty Advisory Committee on University Outreach is going to be meeting October 23rd, and I'll have an update after that meeting.
Senator Director Gurley. I'm so sorry.
So the Academic Advisory Committee will be meeting on October 21st at 11 a.m. If anybody has anything that they would like me to bring up in that meeting, please let me know, and I will have a report.
Senator Wong.
Grad board will be meeting on Monday the 14th at 2 p.m. If any student
Barbara?
So the rec center advisory met today. Some of the key discussions were name and change proposal for the department itself. Most of the members pointed out that recreation and wellness, Department of Recreation and Wellness is something they would like to change it to. There were key budget proposals discussed. Non-student member fees, certain non-student members' fees have been increased. There aren't substantial amount of increases. However, the major reasons for the increase in fee is definitely a decreased enrollment, multiple fitness centers around the area, and competitive entities that have 24-hour timings, which is why the enrollment could be decreasing. However, on the brighter side, the club sport athletes attendance has risen from 100 last year to almost 130 this year. Um, Club Sports Council will be also doing a fundraiser for all the club sport teams. There will be more information relayed later this month. Uh, for the Rec Bash, there was approximately 250 students attended, students and staff attended. However, the numbers are not that great as of yet last year. Um, some of the key repairs that are going on is the pool stairwell repainting, which would mean that for a certain number of days the stairwell will be blocked up, and uh, patrons and students, faculty, staff would need to use the elevator to access the pool. They're working on some tile floor replacements all around the rec center. Next rec center advisory meeting would be on February 12th, 2020. With that info, I also have the Academic Affairs Advisory Committee meeting. The Academic Affairs Advisory Committee met today. Some of the key issues that were discussed were university certificates, and there somehow a problem that has risen with financial aid and FAFSA. Most of the discipline-specific certificates are offered in different universities. However, we have not been really able to continue that program. A big reason for this is how the financial aid factors into uh, the certificates, and major transfer students being optimizing the certificates the most. There was a discussion that students should be able to come back to campus and continue on certifications even if they have different majors and minors. So for example, for grad students, they would be able to continue certificates on certain majors even if they were graduated with a different minor. Um, Enrollment could certainly increase with this because students would see an opportunity to come to University of Michigan-Flint and enroll in different certificate programs which are required in the academia these days. Um, Another discussion was there was a report on the archived artifacts for Flint water crisis that they're currently working on with the library. It's really important for the university to work together to collect these artifacts, as University of Michigan Flint has been part of helping the Flint community with Flint water crisis. And looking back on the years, we should have certain amount of data linked to this history. Um, for the course evaluations, a charge was given from the Faculty Governing Council to the Academic Affairs Advisory Committee. The major discussion is regarding the course evaluations that students fill after their classes. Multiple factors influence these, evaluating the course itself, evaluating the professor, and evaluating the overall performance in the class. What the Academic Affairs Advisory Committee is looking into is how significantly are these statistics and data being used by the departments to evaluate professors and what feedback is being used to make the classes and courses more efficient. Um, so the provost will be working with the deans to relay this information. Um, and multiple deans have been contacted to provide data of how this information is being used for the faculty. I also pressed the issue that student feedback is highly important in this matter because it is something that students do are directly related to, and it's important to understand if there are a number of students who are not filling course evaluations, and the reason for that, there has to be a reason, and one of the reasons could be that students do not really see changes because of these course evaluations, or students are not well aware of. So the AAAC will be working with student government in coming months to develop either a survey or a platform to advertise this, and work also with technical educational initiatives in Ann Arbor for teaching purposes to see how this data can be built and used in a much better way to evaluate these courses. With that, I yield.
Senator Carter.
Today, the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Arts and Sciences Academic Standards Committee that today reviewed some petitions, and after we dealt with those to our satisfaction, the committee continued updating the various rules and regulations, continue updating the language of its rules and regulations.
Vice Chair Sturgeon.
The parking committee meeting that was scheduled for October 19th has been moved to October 24th due to scheduling conflicts. If there's any concerns or questions regarding parking, please reach out to me and I will relay that to the committee. And with that, yeah.
Are there any other committee reports? The floor is now closed for committee reports. Before I open the floor to student government members for questions, comments, and concerns, are there any questions, comments, and concerns from our audience? The floor is now closed for questions, comments, and concerns from our audience. I now open the floor for questions, comments, and concerns from our members of student government. Senator Weston.
I just wanted to add a little food pantry. I voted with people there to open the food pantry to high school students to take classes, these look for blue enrollees. That's all I wanted to add.
Director.
All right, so this afternoon, Chancellor Dennis sent out an email about William S. White, who unfortunately passed away today. He was an asset to this community and to the university, and I just wanted to read a little bit of his email, so I'll pass it. All right, Mr. White played an integral role in the history of the University of Michigan-Flint campus. As chairman and CEO of the Charles Stewart Foundation, Mr. White worked with campus leadership to create pathways to education for thousands of students by providing grants to fund scholarships and academic programming at UM-Flint. He was at the forefront of supporting the growth of the campus through his efforts to bring new structures to UM-Flint, such as the First Street Residence Hall, the Murphy Science Building, and the William S. White Building, which bears his name. UM-Flint is the outstanding campus it is today because of the wisdom and philanthropic support of Mr. White. I encourage everyone to take a look at that email that he sent out. There's a great link to the Mott Foundation's website about more of his work, and we're going to take this time for a moment of silence. Thank you, and with that,
Are there any more questions, comments, or concerns from members of student government? President President.
Apart from the open forum for Board of Regents, on October 17th, I will be addressing the Board of Regents on behalf of student government and the student body 3:30 p.m. at the North Bank Center. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know as I finalize my my address to the board. With that,
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns from members of student? Meeting adjourned, it's 7:57.
please stay, student government person, please stay here.
So, it's up to you how you want to do it as an exhibition or as a suspender. Just let me know. If you want to suspend your request, I'll do what we can do to make sure you have your review. When it's exhibition, next week. Yeah, just make it.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thanks for coming today. Yeah, I was like, wait, she was.
I got it together.